Welcome to the University of Maine's 2026 Commencement Ceremony. The program will begin shortly. A reminder that our graduates will return to their seats after crossing the stage, and they will remain seated until the end of the ceremony. Our program begins today with Aaron Copeland's Fanfare for the Common Man, performed by the University of Maine Ceremonial Brass. Please rise and give your attention to this musical presentation which announces the entrance of the class of 2026.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Joan Farini-Mundy, the president of the University of Maine and the University of Maine at Machias, and vice chancellor for the University of Maine System for Research and Innovation. Welcome to the 224th commencement of the University of Maine. Please stand if you are able as the cadets from the University of Maine Army ROTC Black Bear Battalion present the colors, and graduating UMaine education major Curtis Morgan of Kennebunk, Maine performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. As we celebrate each graduate today, we kindly ask that you remain until the conclusion of the ceremony. Each student has worked hard to reach this moment, and we want to treasure it. Thank you for being respectful and helping us make this a meaningful and memorable occasion for everyone. The University of Maine recognizes that it is located on Marsh Island in the homeland of the Penobscot Nation, where issues of water and territorial rights and encroachment upon sacred sites are ongoing. Penobscot homeland is connected to the other Wabanaki tribal nations, the Passamaquoddy, Maliseet, and Micmac, through kinship, alliance, and diplomacy. The university also recognizes that the Penobscot Nation and the other Wabanaki tribal nations are distinct, sovereign, legal, and political entities with their own powers of self-governance and self-determination. Okay, sure. Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to the members of the University of Maine class of 2026. I'm happy to welcome you back home this year in the Alfond Arena, newly renovated thanks to the generous support of the Harold Alfond Foundation and many donors. Isn't it beautiful? Sure, we'll applaud a lot today. It's good. To parents, grandparents, siblings, spouses, partners, friends, and children, whether you are with us in Orono today, watching from afar, or present in the thoughts and hearts of our graduates, thank you. With your support, your sacrifice, and your encouragement, and your belief in these students, who will be alumni in a couple of hours, they have made it. Graduates, let's give a round of applause to thank your supporters. Send them a thank you text with a selfie, it says here, perhaps. In any way, thank you to your supporters. Now let's turn our attention to our graduates, the class of 2026. Today is a celebration of your achievements and the chance to wish you well as you move on to new beginnings or continue with your ongoing journey. Today is the culmination of years of learning new things, working hard, and having fun. So take a moment to look back and appreciate what you have accomplished and how becoming a Black Bear has changed you. Congratulations, you've made it. Some of you have been coming here to watch Black Bear athletics since you were babies, and it was a given that you would come to the University of Maine. Others found their way to this great land, sea, and space grant R1 university in other ways. 45 students are here today from 20 different countries. I am grateful to our international community for what you bring to the University of Maine. Let's recognize our international community, please. No matter what brought you here, thank you for choosing the University of Maine. Think back to your first day. You probably were looking forward to meeting new friends, but maybe worried about being away from family, and in some cases, family at a long distance away. Wondering if you had the right major. Excited about pushing yourself, but not sure about how to balance work, family, a social life, or about being in a classroom after a few years away, or managing to do learning online. Could you manage a full-time job and be a student? How would you get hockey tickets? Or fit in all the requirements? And you all worked your way through your own individual challenges, and it seems like a long time ago. Post-COVID in 2022, we restarted Candy Cab golf cart rides on the first day of classes, and I got to meet some of you then. And I want to congratulate, because we did a quiz there, some of you may remember. Congratulations to those of you who knew the name of our mascot, Bananas T. Bear. You did great. You know, some of the other questions, we could redo that, but we won't right now. It was great to see you when you first arrived here and to watch your path to today. A lot has happened while you have been here, class of 2026. We first were designated an R1 university in 2022 as you were choosing a college, and in that designation was reaffirmed this academic year as you are graduating. Our BioHome 3D was printed during your first semester. Phil and Sue Morse made a stunning $10 million donation to athletics while you were here. The Furland building was brand new. GEM had started and will be finished soon. You've been here to be a part of these celebrations and historic UMaine milestones. Some of you are about to launch a career that's a culmination of years of education and planning, maybe something you envisioned yourself doing in the 4th grade. Some of you may be finding yourselves on a path that is not what you originally expected when you got here, but one that does promise to be exciting. And some of you are still recovering from your last round of projects and final exams, which I'm sure went well, and are still contemplating your future prospects. I want to assure you it's okay to be uncertain about your future. Don't let that uncertainty stop you from taking risks and reaching out in new directions. Trust the people around you who will help open doors, connect you to opportunities, and believe in your potential. At UMaine, you've learned from and with our world-class faculty, professors, and researchers. Don't let your connections with your faculty end with graduation. They can remain a lifelong source of guidance, collaboration, and inspiration wherever you go. It means as much to them, I think, to watch your path as it will mean to you to have their mentorship. This class has shaped this university, and I'm inspired by the spirit of innovation, creativity, collaboration that you carry with you, and that we all have had the privilege to witness during your time at UMaine. We have seen it in Eddie Nakami, a graduating senior in UMaine's Honors College and ELH from North Andover, Massachusetts, who turned a class paper into a national policy map that tracked PFAS legislation across the U.S. And in Hannah Maker, a senior nursing student from Machiasport, who supported the faculty-led Down East Population Health Initiative to help reduce isolation and the stress that comes from poverty and food insecurity. And in Wyatt Fessler, a biomedical engineering student who led the development of a low-cost, mass manufacturable micro-droplet generator. The work that Eddie, Hannah, and Wyatt, and so many others have done here will have an effect on our world. Your education at the University of Maine has given you a strong foundation, but this is the beginning. What you build next is up to you and those who will become and already are, in many cases, your fans, supporters, mentors, and yes, your critics. Keep learning, keep growing, stay open to new ideas and experiences. Try to find meaning in what you do and take some chances. The future can be more just, more equitable, more innovative, more safe, and more compassionate with intention. It becomes better only when people like you, people who care, people who worked hard here at UMaine to learn and grow, and have knowledge and capability, people who can see both problems and possibilities. When you choose to act, you are capable of making those changes. One of the things that struck me this week was hearing advice on social media from some of our outstanding graduating seniors to future black bears who were getting ready to enter the university. Great job, Sarah, Chantel, Jasper, Hamida, Ruth, and Zoe. But I was reading and I was thinking, although it's great advice for the beginning of college, it's also great advice for the beginning that commencement represents. And you can see it on TikTok. In the words of graduating students, here's some of what they said. Say yes to new experiences. Take every opportunity that comes your way. Stack small wins every day. Be curious and ask for help when you need it. Take every opportunity to learn and grow. Take action on the things you care about. It goes by really fast, so make sure to enjoy every moment. Graduates, wherever life takes you next, take your black bear roots with you. This is the college of our hearts, and we look forward to welcoming you back whenever you're ready, always. Congratulations, University of Maine Class of 2026. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce the members of the stage party. Please hold your applause until all of them stand. Henry Okono, Faculty Senate President and Associate Professor of Accounting at the Maine Business School. Jenny Boyden, Interim Vice President for Finance and Administration and Chief Business Officer. Hannah Carter, Deputy Provost and Dean of Cooperative Extension. Ruth Griffith, Valedictorian. Jason Harkins, Executive Dean of the Maine Business School and Dean of the Graduate School of Business. Hannah Hudson, University of Maine Board of Visitors Vice Chair. Roger Cates, University of Maine System Board of Trustees Representative. Jude Killey, Vice President and Director of Athletics. Mohammed Musavi, 2026 Distinguished Maine Professor, Senior Associate Dean of the Maine College of Engineering and Computing and Professor of Electrical Engineering. Gabrielle Paquette, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Thomas Pico, President and CEO of the University of Maine Alumni Association. Timothy Simons, Commencement Speaker and 2001 graduate. Susan Sullivan, Associate Dean of the College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences. Keegan Tripp, Undergraduate Student Government President. Megan Walsh, Dean and Campus Director of the University of Maine at Machias. Jake Ward, Vice President of Strategic Partnerships, Innovation, Resources, and Engagement. And Ellen Weinauer, Dean of the Honors College. My sincere thanks to all of you for participating in today's ceremony. Please be seated. The faculty, staff, and administrators at the University of Maine are highly accomplished in their fields. They have shared their time, their ideas, their knowledge, and their encouragement to help you students succeed. So I want to offer my special thanks to the faculty and to give us a chance to applaud them. Thank you to the faculty. Every year, the university celebrates the accomplishments of our inspiring faculty and staff through several awards. The University of Maine names presidential award winners in 5 categories, reflecting outstanding achievements in teaching, research, public engagement, innovation, and impact to our Maine community, UMaine community. This year's recipients are Jay Wason, Presidential Outstanding Teaching Award; Mehdi Tajvidi, Presidential Research and Creative Achievement Award; Darren Ranko, Presidential Public Engagement Achievement Award; William Davids, Presidential Innovation Award; and Melissa Leidenheim, Black Bear Award for Extraordinary Impact. If any of those folks are here, please stand and we'll applaud you. Or we'll applaud anyway. Thank you. Great. Their profiles are located in the digital program. I would also like to take a moment to recognize University of Maine Professor Emeritus Robert Stenek, who was recently elected to the National Academy of Sciences, which is one of the highest honors in American science. Faculty, yes, that's worth applauding, actually. Lots. Faculty, I know that the graduates appreciate your presence here today. I'd like to thank our faculty who have met you where you were and who gave their all in supporting your learning all along. Faculty, we are grateful for what you have done for this class and to ensure that we make fostering learner success our top priority in our learner-centered R1 University. Faculty, please stand so that we can formally express our appreciation to you. Please be seated. Thank you. I now invite Thomas Pico, President and CEO of the University of Maine Alumni Association, to the podium.
Uh-oh. Now I broke it. Okay. Good morning. Thank you, President Freeney-Mundy. I am really grateful for the opportunity to join you all today. Graduates, you now join the ranks of over 110,000 people living around the world who proudly call themselves alumni of the University of Maine. As President and CEO of the University of Maine Alumni Association, it is my honor and privilege to represent all UMaine alumni in congratulating you today. We are all Black Bears for life. In addition to today's graduates, many in the audience are also UMaine alumni, and I would like to invite our family, friends, faculty, and distinguished guests who are alumni of the University of Maine to stand to be recognized at this time. Thank you. We are honored by your presence and pleased to welcome you home to the University of Maine. Today, I not only join you to represent the Alumni Association, but I also stand before you as a proud father watching my son Andrew earn his bachelor's degree from the Maine Business School this morning. The Pico family is a proud Black Bear family today and every day. For today's graduates, your time as a UMaine student has come to a close, but I am here to remind you that the UMaine Alumni Association exists to inspire your lifelong connection, passion, and engagement with the college of our hearts always. We invite you to follow the Alumni Association on social media for frequent updates from campus and details of events in Orono and on the road. We hope to see you back on campus this fall for homecoming, October 23rd and 24th, mark your calendar, and at other alumni events throughout the year. Congratulations and welcome to the ranks of proud UMaine alumni worldwide. Since 1963, the University of Maine Alumni Association has annually honored a member of the University of Maine faculty as our Distinguished Maine Professor. This is the university's most prestigious faculty honor and recognizes a faculty member who exemplifies the highest qualities of teaching, research, and public service. It is a distinct honor to introduce a visionary who has shaped the very fabric of Maine engineering for over 4 decades. After earning his PhD from the University of Michigan, Dr. Mohammed Musavi joined the UMaine faculty, where he pioneered groundbreaking laboratories in robotics and intelligent systems. A prolific researcher, his work in neural networks has spearheaded over 50 projects totaling nearly $13 million in funding. Yet his greatest legacy is his students. Dr. Musavi has mentored generations of graduates who now lead global industries and academic institutions. Through his tireless advocacy, he has built a seamless pathway from early education to workforce development, ensuring Maine remains a leader in innovation. It's my pleasure to welcome our Distinguished Maine Professor for 2026, Dr. Mohammed Musavi, to the stage.
Good morning. Thank you, Tom. President Freeney-Mundy, members of the university leadership team, the president of the UMaine Alumni Association, distinguished guests, faculty, colleagues, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2026. Thank you for inviting me to share this moment with you. Graduates, you did it. You survived the late nights, the Maine winters, and the impossible deadlines. Congratulations, class of 2026. Take a moment and look around yourself. The friends, the classmates, the people who shared this journey with you. You made it. Now let me ask you something. How many of you came to UMaine with a clear plan to your future, for your future? And how many of you are graduating with a completely different plan? I see that you are laughing. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Let me share a brief story from my own journey. When I finished my undergraduate degree in Iran and came to the United States to study electrical engineering at the University of Michigan, I felt what many of you may feel today: excitement and uncertainty. A new country, a new culture, cold winters, and many unknowns ahead. It was the start of Christmas break. The 40,000 student campus in Ann Arbor was a ghost town. Wind blowing snow and bone-chilling cold My meals were peanut, butter, and potatoes, until I finally got my first Big Mac after 3 weeks. I arrived here at the University of Maine as a young professor. I thought I knew my path. I began teaching and writing research proposals. For 2 years, every single one of them was rejected. None were funded. I did not just feel stuck, I began to question my path. And if you are feeling that uncertainty today, you are not alone. I felt it too. But that uncertainty turned out to be a gift. It pushed me to leave the safe path and explore something new, robotics. It was not widely taught. We did not have the internet, the cloud, the smartphones. Our computers were far less powerful than what you carry in your pocket today. We had to build everything from scratch. But our philosophy was you learn best by doing. Soon many students were building robots from scratch, wiring them and programming them and trying to figure out why everything stopped working the minute before demonstration. But we quickly realized something. Our robots could move, but they could not see. So we began working on campus on computer vision. Eventually, one of our students built an autonomous chess-playing robot, the first in the nation. It even appeared on national television. Then came the turning point. At 30,000 feet on a flight in the late 80s, I opened the journal and read about an idea that felt like a science fiction: neural networks. I hope you know what that is. It's about an idea that felt like neural network. It's the idea that instead of telling computers exactly what to do, we could train them to learn from data. That was the moment I knew the world was about to change. So right here at UMaine, together with our students, we began exploring these ideas long before AI became part of everybody's life. We were the first in Maine and among only a small number of universities in the nation, teaching and experiencing with neural networks. Those students were ahead of their time, and perhaps the next generation of pioneers is sitting right here today. And those experiments 4 decades ago became part of the foundation of the AI revolution, now transforming our world. And the question is, why am I telling you this story? Because many years ago, I was sitting where you are today. My life did not follow a straight line. And yours will not either. Today, I stand before you as the Maine Distinguished Professor. What a contrast from peanut butters and potatoes. I believe every one of you has the potential to succeed and excel. But success does not happen by accident. It requires passion, hard work, and resilience. Success is not about talent alone. It is about persistence. And remember this: the world you live in today was built by those who came before you. Now it's your turn to build what comes next. A modern rendering by Daniel Ladinsky, inspired by the 14th century Persian poet Hafez, says, I wish I could show you when you are lonely and in darkness, that astonishing light of your own being. Every one of you is a star shining in the sky, bringing beauty to our world. Every one of you can bring knowledge, kindness, creativity, and hope into this world. You are the light that Maine and the world needs right now. Go help humanity shine brighter because you can. But as you build that future, build it with humanity, build it with integrity, and build it with care for one shared home, the planet we all depend on. You are our future. With your light, make this world a better place. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you.
Engineering here. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Musavi, and congratulations again on being named this year's Distinguished Maine Professor. The University of Maine System Board of Trustees oversees the management and operations of the University of Maine System with its 7 member campuses, including this flagship campus. I'm going to fix the microphone, excuse me. Can you hear me? Is that okay? It's a pleasure to have with us today board member Roger Cates, a graduate of Harvard University and Boston University School of Law. He has had a distinguished legal career in Augusta. He has served as president of the Maine Trial Lawyers Association, as well as 6 years as mayor of Augusta and 4 terms in the Maine State Senate. Trustee Cates truly understands the scope, the scale, and the impact of the University of Maine, and I am very, very grateful for his support and insight. Please welcome Trustee Roger Cates.
Good morning. President Free Monday and distinguished members of the stage party, graduates, faculty, special thanks to all of you. I hope you get a lot of, today's the day where you see why you do what you do, I guess. Thank you. And families and friends, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the public universities of the state of Maine, which stretch from Presque Isle down to Portland, I'm glad to be here to congratulate you. I understand over 700 of you are getting degrees this morning. That's 700 very, very different stories, 700 very different paths. It's an honor to be here. You know, they say that Maine is just one big small town, and I want to suggest our speaker, Tim Simons, is Exhibit A for that today. Tim grew up in Reedfield, which is about 10 miles from my hometown of Augusta, and Tim's dad, who was a great photographer, took my daughter's senior picture in high school, we thank you for. And Tim played basketball with a whole bunch of my friends at Joe Edwards' barn in Reedfield every Sunday night. So welcome home. you know, some of you, as Dr. Musavi said, some of you may be a little bit uncertain about exactly what career path lies ahead. And that's hardly a new story, as Dr. Musavi told you. But I'd like to tell you about that my dad was one of those people. He was standing in line like you are to get his bachelor's degree at Tufts back in 1942. He really didn't know what he was going to do. But in line going up to the stage to get his degree, he started talking with a guy behind him who he didn't even know. That fellow told my dad he was going to enroll the next day in the Army Air Corps, which was the predecessor of our modern Air Force. So by the time they got up onto the stage, he had my dad interested. And the next day, my dad went with him down to that recruiting station and ended up enlisting himself. Life works in strange ways. It led to his first career as a military and then a civilian pilot, and eventually back to Augusta. So if you're not quite sure what you're going to do, when your row stands up to walk up to the stage, you might want to check with the person behind you. Who knows what might happen. So again, thank you for the great honor to be here with you, and congratulations on this wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Cates, and thank you for getting us started on an introduction that will come later for Tim Simons. Thank you. At this point, we would like to recognize Carol Dana, upon whom the University of Maine System Board of Trustees voted to confer an honorary doctorate of humane letters. Carol could not be with us here today in person, so we brought the ceremony to her last week, and we have a video. This honorary degree is given in recognition of exceptional work in the humanities, particularly for substantial and sustained contributions to scientific knowledge. The University of Maine selectively chooses to award this degree to celebrate truly outstanding individuals who have made a significant impact on a specific field or to society through advancements, and Carol Dana has had that impact. Carol Dana has dedicated her life to preserving, teaching, and revitalizing the Penobscot language, ensuring that it continues to be spoken, learned, and carried forward for future generations. A citizen of the Penobscot Nation and a proud University of Maine alumna, Carol earned both her bachelor's degree in education and her master's degree in education from the University of Maine. She has since become one of the foremost stewards of the Penobscot language and culture. For decades, she has taught learners of all ages, from young children to adults within the community, sharing not only vocabulary and grammar, but also the stories, traditions, and identity carried within the language itself. Her work has helped shape the future of language preservation in Maine and beyond. She played a key role in developing a standardized writing system for Penobscot, helped create an English Penobscot and Penobscot English dictionary, and recorded audio resources and educational materials that continues to support learners today. Carol Dana is also a gifted poet, storyteller, and traditional artist whose work has helped bring Penobscot stories and traditions to wider audiences through bilingual publications and literary works. So in recognition of that extraordinary dedication, she received the Algonquian Language Conference Lifetime Achievement Award in 2010. Because of Carol Dana's tireless efforts, the Penobscot language is not only remembered, but is actively spoken, taught, and celebrated. Her work represents the very best of this university's mission, preserving knowledge, strengthening communities, and creating a better future through education and cultural understanding. Please join me in congratulating Carol Dana on this well-deserved honor. And now I'm very excited to introduce an accomplished University of Maine alum, one that we are very proud to welcome back to campus for this special occasion. You already know Tim Simons from his roles in Veep, Nobody Wants This, Scream 7, and many more movies and TV shows. A native of Reedfield, Maine, Tim graduated from here in 2001 with a degree in theater and credits his time at UMaine and his professor Sandra Hardy as his inspiration for going into acting and theater. We're thrilled that he's come back to his alma mater to share this day with us, and I'm sure that with his credentials, he will be giving you a much more entertaining speech than the one you have heard from me. Please welcome our 2026 commencement speaker, Tim Simons.
Good morning. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for all of his blessings. I live each and every day in the glory of his divine light. I'm not particularly religious at all. I just thought that while I have everybody's attention publicly, I would just cover my bases for later, you know, when the bill comes due. So, God, thank you. Also, Yahweh, Allah, Odin, the All-Father, Krishna, the Divine Mother, Satan, Lord of Darkness, that's my guy right there. The Bodhisattva, Christopher Nolan, the turtle that the flat earth rests on, and, oh, right, there was this Stephen King book that it came out a couple years ago, and I read it, and at the end of the book, it turns out that the afterlife is just like these giant, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil the end of the book. The afterlife is just these giant ants that torture and enslave humans for eternity. So I'd like to say thank you to the giant ants. Okay. My name is Timothy Simons. I'm a proud Maine native, a proud University of Maine graduate, and I'm an actor by trade. And paradoxically, I am wildly nervous about being here today speaking in front of this many people. I'm used to hiding behind the security blanket of writers and characters with a different Maine than my own, so this feels quite vulnerable. But despite that, I would like to note that I did not use AI to assist me in putting this speech together. Because I can't think of anything more insulting than to make you sit here and listen to me read something that I did not bother to write. So, nice. I'm going to steal a bit from an actor named Brian, who I saw do this in an award speech, and point out that we have an American Sign Language interpreter here today. And they have to say anything that I say. So, beta blockers. The Eiffel Tower. That is far too many eggs for one man to eat for breakfast. Great job, thank you. So I should probably give you some of my background so you understand the context of the indefensible decision the university made by asking me to be here today. I grew up in Reedfield. It's a very small town outside of Augusta. My long-suffering parents, Susan and Ron, are here, as well as my brother Dan and my sister Lacey, who is also a UMaine graduate. To say that I came from an artistically leaning family might sell it short. My dad was a photographer, my mom is the funniest person that I've ever met, and I've met a lot of funny people. My sister was a writer and a poet, and my brother is an exceptionally talented bluegrass musician here in Maine. And my brother and I look quite alike, so whenever I'm here, I'm constantly being mistaken for him, which annoys me to no end because I am verifiably more famous than he is. I was not an actor growing up, but I had a distinct talent for acting out. Please refer back to the description of my parents as long-suffering. And I wasn't a terrible student, but I often had moments where I flirted with the idea because I was far more concerned with firing off bits during class than I was with learning anything outside of my interest base, which at the time was mostly movies, television, and indie bands. And I was an aimless student. And when I came to UMaine, I had truly no idea what I should do with myself day to day, much less what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm assuming that they're never going to ask me to speak here again because they'll want to keep it fresh every year. So I'm going to make this count and ensure that they will never invite me back by telling you that it took me 5 years to graduate with a 4-year degree, and I spent a fair amount of my time here smoking cigarettes outside of Houck Auditorium and doing psychedelics by the Penobscot River. Now, I'm assuming that some of the faculty and most of your parents, especially the lame ones, will look at what I just said as a negative, but my time at this school is the reason I have managed to do anything in my life. My timeline here is what we would now call non-traditional, but back then it would have just been called being a dumb idiot. I came here as a freshman thinking that I would study physics, that being one of the few purely academic classes I ever excelled in during high school. And this lasted 10 minutes into my Physics 101 class on my first day as a freshman, where I discovered that being good in physics in high school is quite different than being a physicist. I struggled my first semester here. I was having trouble making friends, I was deeply homesick, and although I had never really done theater in high school, I saw some audition announcements for the student-directed 10-minute plays. So I showed up, hoping to at least get myself out of my dorm room. They went well, I had a good time, I met some rad people, and that led to the 30-minute shows in the spring, and the beginning of my sophomore year, I declared myself a theater major. My ADHD-addled, hyper-focused brain took over. It took me 5 years to graduate because I threw myself into it so much that I didn't particularly care about any other classes. I had acting classes, I had theater history, I was in plays, that's what I cared about. And when I went to speak to my advisor at the end of my 3rd year, I told them I'm going to be graduating next year, and they looked over my transcript and very clearly told me, no, you aren't. And in defense of the university, I'm sure someone at some point mentioned the idea of credits to me, or the minimum amount required to graduate, but that didn't really have much to do with me. Some other nerd was going to have to figure that out. It was in the fall of my sophomore year that I took my first class with Dr. Sandra Hardy. She was the matriarch of the acting program here. She was famously intimidating, as many first acting teachers are. The legend was that she cut her teeth performing in cabarets in New York City and to kids from Millinocket and Caribou who hadn't seen much of anything south of Portland. We looked to her as a scion of culture. She introduced us to playwrights that we had never heard of, and of particular interest to me were the absurdists like Beckett and Ionesco. Sandra was full of contradictions. She would be apoplectic if you didn't know the intricate details of a play as it relates to your character, but would forget the details of the same show. She was consistently late for class, but would be furious if you weren't 10 minutes early. She'd illegally park her Jeep in front of the Pavilion Theater and stroll into class with the vibe of, why in God's name haven't we started yet? Sandra was tough. If a scene wasn't going well, you knew it quickly. She would groan loudly if you were overdoing it. Sometimes you wouldn't get more than a few lines into a scene before she would wave her arms in the air and shout, boring. Or she might stop you with a sound like whoop, 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 and ask if that was the level of effort you intended to put into all your work, because if so, you should learn how to dig a hole. There would be long, excruciating silences as you waited for feedback, where she would put her head in her hands and eventually look at you and say very simply, wrong. Or, even worse, it was fine, but maybe you forgot that that was supposed to be funny. As tough as she was, I never had another teacher who I've learned more from or who was so personally invested in her students. She was a tornado of insults and criticisms, but she was also loving and joyful. She understood that the world we aspired to could be unforgiving, and while it could also be fulfilling beyond measure, it would never stand for mediocrity. So she prepared us for the inevitable onslaught of rejection we would receive, but at the same time taught us the skills to build ourselves up again. She would drop everything to talk to you about a scene you were having trouble with, guidance dealing with a classmate with whom you may not see eye to eye, or if you were simply struggling through your first quasi-adult relationship. Above everything else, Sandra stressed the importance of ensemble. She made sure that everyone knew, no matter your role in a show, that they were to be treated with respect, and that if everyone worked together, the show itself would be better for it. And that resonated with me. This type of community that Sandra spoke about. One where you could demand better from people because you knew they were capable. One that didn't shield you from the fact that this life would be hard, but one where you could celebrate your success together. It wasn't about if you got a job or not. It was about if you worked up to your capability in your attempts. Now, I've been very lucky in my life to find these kinds of communities. I had that in my childhood, not only with my own family, but the extended family we made through my parents' close friends. And after I graduated, I moved to Chicago, a city that holds dear this same idea, that the play is the thing, and the individual should be celebrated, but the point is that we can make something bigger than ourselves if we walk in the same direction. I met my wife Annie there, a public school theater teacher who believes so strongly in that ideal that she has dedicated her life to teaching it, and together we moved to Los Angeles. Now, LA is a city much less famous for its belief in ensemble, but I managed to get a break on a show called Veep, filled with people who also had this mindset, and that continues today with the cast and crew of the show I'm on now. Even beyond Sandra's influence, the university allowed me to see every aspect of stagecraft. I worked run crews on shows I wasn't in. I learned how to build sets in my work-study job in the scene shop, a skill that came to good use when I was starting out in Chicago, where I would work on build crews during the day and try to get cast in shows at night. I ran light boards and soundboards. I worked with graduate students on solo shows we would put up ourselves. And even beyond that, the program here forced me to take classes that I wasn't interested in, but eventually ended up informing all of my work moving forward. To be an actor, you need to know a little about a lot. You have to be versatile, and I found the beginnings of that in my education here. Hello. I am the American Sign Language interpreter for the commencement address of the University of Maine. I believe myself to be a person of integrity, so I need to take a moment and inform you that I am not a fan of Timothy Simons' work. I can understand why other people might enjoy it, but it is simply not for me. This is not an ill-informed joke that Tim wrote into his speech. These are my own feelings and do not reflect the opinions of the university. Thank you. Just seems a little rude to bring that up now, but you know, I'll do this and that's good. So a few things before I continue. I know that I work in a very different world than most people, but there's a few things I think I can encourage you to do as you move forward into your lives. And please take this all with a grain of salt or ignore it completely, because what do I know? Probably nothing. I'm still trying to figure this all out the same as you. And it's not like whatever aphorisms I spit out today are going to be something you haven't heard before. Unfortunately, the old timers have been right about a few things, and as I've aged, I've begrudgingly begun to accept that. Whatever your goals, whatever your idea of success, that success will be on its own timeline. It's easy to look at somebody else who may be further along and ask, why isn't that happening for me? And the answer is simple. Their timeline is different than yours. Envy and bitterness can creep in, but don't let it. My grandmother would say that the mills of the gods grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine, or more simply, that comparison is the thief of joy. So I beg of you to not look at somebody else's success as your failure. You might want a job that a friend of yours gets, and that sucks, but look at it from the view of it was theirs the whole time. It was waiting for them, just like what is right for you will be waiting. So celebrate them, be supportive, and surround yourself with people who do the same for you. Your time will come, And when it does, if you lived a life of bitterness, there won't be anyone there to celebrate it with you. A good idea can come from anywhere. In the movie Jaws, the line, "We're gonna need a bigger boat," started out as an inside joke on a set by a frustrated crew members on a famously troubled production. And Roy Scheider improvised that line into a scene. Dave Mandel, our Veep showrunner, had a practice of doing blind joke submissions from everyone in the writer's room, and that led to one of the office assistants being promoted to a staff writer. As you move forward, don't dismiss ideas simply because they didn't come from someone with a proper title. There are hierarchies everywhere, and there's no reason to play into them. On set, there are PAs, the most entry-level and wildly maligned job there is, but all those PAs want to be producers or directors, and so one day, I'm going to be asking them for a job. And they'll remember how you made them feel when you were kind in a moment that you didn't have to be, and I think that goes a long way. Try to take everything in your life seriously without being self-serious. Commit fully to even the dumbest stuff like it's life or death. If you've chosen to do something, why not give it everything you have, even if it isn't everything you possibly have? If you are only operating on 30%, give 100% of 30%. This isn't about being unforgiving or psychotic. It's just about treating the precious and dwindling time you are spending with the respect it deserves, without giving over to pretension. I'll paraphrase my friend Bradley, an accomplished performer in both theater and film, who said that acting is an art, a craft, and a lifelong practice. It takes focus, determination, empathy, and it will never be perfected. But also, I've seen dogs be good at acting. This last one is maybe a bit harder to explain, but the world is chaotic and hard, and life can be short and cruel. So don't run from the chaos of it. Throw yourself into circumstances that you aren't ready for. You'll never be fully prepared for a new job, to move to a different city or state, or to have kids. But bravery isn't about not being afraid. Bravery is being afraid and doing it anyway. Like Tom in East of Eden, whom Steinbeck described as someone who got into a book, crawled around and groveled between the covers, tunneled like a mole among the thoughts, and came up with the book all over his face and hands. I implore you to be messy. And that might not be the best example, because Tom ultimately takes his own life because he gives his sister the wrong medicine to treat a stomach ache and she dies. But regardless, I want you guys to take big swings. Do inadvisable and scary stuff. For example, someday, someone might offer you to speak at the commencement of your alma mater, and you should say yes, even though you might have a bunch of panic attacks and wish you had never agreed, and then write a speech in which you remind everyone, including your family who are in attendance, that it took you a stupidly long time to graduate and you did a bunch of acid. Now, the caveat here is that I understand that I came of age in a very different time than you did, where everyone didn't have a video camera in their pocket looking to exploit and monetize your folly. But I still can't implore you enough to take risks. They won't guarantee success, but nothing so guarantees failure as not risking anything. Be curious about other people's lives and other people's experiences. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but someday you will age and die. And the only thing that I have found that keeps me feeling young, despite my lower back pain and the audible clicks my knees make when I walk up the stairs, is to foster the feeling of curiosity that the world tries to beat out of you. And more than anything, spend time with people who make you laugh. I have found nothing so therapeutic as that. For all the world's chaos and cruelty, laughter is the first and last defense against it. I'll conclude by telling you that in 2014, I made a trip back here after Dr. Sandra Hardy's passing. They had a celebration of her life in the Orchestra Hall in Minsky. Her partner, Joanne, and their daughter Jade had donated her library of plays to the school, and they put them on tables in the lobby for her former students to take if there was one that was special to them. I found her copies of Rhinoceros and Waiting for Godot in the stacks, two shows by those absurdists that I connected with so much when I was a student. I still have them. And flipping through the pages, there were a bunch of notes that she had scrawled in the margins, one of which just read, "carrots." And I don't know what she meant by that, because there was no mention of carrots in the scene where the note was taken. But I love that in true Sandra fashion, she would never give you the answer. She'd just point you in the direction and hope beyond all hope that you'd eventually figure it out. That day in Minsky, celebrating her, I stood arm in arm with people I hadn't seen in years, people who were as moved in their lives by her as I was in mine. And whether or not they went on to make a living in theater didn't matter, and I'm sure it wouldn't have mattered to her. The point was to live a deep and full life, to learn from playwrights and actors and musicians and accountants and parking lot attendants and cooks what it meant to be alive, to accept the absurdity and the sadness and the exaltation of the moments you have before they're gone. Danny Williams, who's here today, led the celebration and ended it by standing us all up and making us sing the title song from the musical Cabaret. And if we were shy about singing, which I historically have been, he reminded us that Sandra would always say, sing. And if you can't sing, just make a joyful noise. So thank you. Thank you for having me. Congratulations to you and your families, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Tim. Next, please welcome Student Government President and graduating senior Keegan Tripp. Majoring in political science with minors in sociology, leadership, and legal studies, Keegan has been a fierce advocate for the student body here at UMaine the entire time he has been a student. Keegan, I so appreciate the partnership we have been able to develop with UMSG under your leadership, and I look forward to seeing your next chapter.
Thank you, President Fernie Mundy. Hearty Maine hello, stage party, friends, family, and fellow members of the class of 2026. I've thought a lot about what today is supposed to mean. And the truth is, it doesn't mean just one thing. Each of us experienced this university differently. Your first year dorm, or transfer dorm, or off-campus apartment. Your first unexpected friend, or bad grade. Your first UMaine goal in the Alphond. The first time you realized you had to figure something out all on your own. All of it added up in ways that weren't apparent at the time, but have brought us here. And now we're leaving. Not into something clear or predictable, but into a world that feels uncertain in ways that are hard to ignore. A world where polarization shapes how we see each other, where the systems we rely on don't always feel steady, and where the things even closest to us can feel like they're shifting beneath our feet. That can feel overwhelming, and at times, it should. But when I look out at you now and think about what has kept us going, it hasn't been certainty. It's been each other. Over the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of watching fellow Black Bears lead in ways that don't always get recognized, but matter all the same. I've watched students step up to guide their chapters and teams, share their passions through art and song, rebuild organizations that were barely holding on, and carry on university traditions that long predate them. I've seen them stand up for what they believe in, protest against what's wrong, and show up for their community despite it all. Some led with speeches and op-eds, others with brotherly love and an expectation that we can be better. Some led by just showing up again and again, but what they all shared was a refusal to wait, a rejection of complacency and hopelessness. We chose to act. We chose to leave this place better than we found it. And that's what I hope we carry forward. Because it's easy to believe that change belongs to someone else, someone older, someone wiser, someone more powerful, but time and time again, it's been people just like us who has proven otherwise. We are not too young. We are not too small, and we are not too late. I really do believe that we're right on time. What we've learned here goes beyond classrooms or meeting spaces. We've learned that communities don't just exist, they are built, held together by people who care enough to try, who show up when it's inconvenient, who invest in one another when resources are thin, and choose to hope even when it feels like a risk. I would be remiss if I didn't also take the chance to say how grateful I am to the student body for giving me the chance to support this campus. Serving in this role gave me a front row seat to the care, diligence, and belief that so many of you brought to this place every day. It gave me a glimpse into so many parts of this university that I otherwise would have missed. It has been an honor to give something back to a community that has given me so much in return. So, as we step off the stage into whatever comes next, my hope is simple. Stay bold enough to act. Speak when it would be easier to stay quiet. Build when it would be easier to walk away. Show love and appreciation to the friends and family who have gotten you here, and hold on to a kind of hope that is not passive, but something you create yourself, something you carry with you, something you're willing to stand behind every day. To the long nights, to the friendships that shaped us, and to the college of our hearts always, congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Keegan. The university community honors the top students nominated by faculty and leadership of our graduating class. This year, 1 valedictorian and 2 salutatorians. Their full biographies are in your program, but let me give you some highlights of their outstanding academic careers and accomplishments here at UMaine. Serving as the 2026 valedictorian, Ruth Griffith of Parkman, Maine, is graduating with a degree in economics and minors in mathematics and international affairs. Alongside her academic load, she has prioritized volunteer work, serving as fundraising chair for the Maine Day Meal Packout since her sophomore year. This year, the Maine Day Meal Packout donated 80,000 meals to food pantries across the state, an amazing act of giving by our students. Ruth is also the outstanding graduating student in the Honors College. For her honors thesis, she adapted a business cycle algorithm that is popularly used to analyze stock markets to allow input of regional sales tax data from Maine, allowing a better understanding of the regional impacts of tax policy. Ruth embodies the Black Bear spirit of both philanthropy and academic excellence, driven by her 3 core values of community, action, and mindfulness. She will bring that spirit with her to her next chapter in New York City, where she has accepted a job as part of the risk management team at an international bank. Please welcome your 2026 valedictorian, Ruth Griffith.
Hello, everyone. I'm so beyond excited to be with you today to celebrate the class of 2026. For us graduates, graduation is a really complicated moment. It's one where we look back with pride at everything we've accomplished, but also one where we look forward with excitement or maybe even a little fear about what comes next. And that piece about what comes next, I know is weighing heavily on many of our minds. We ask ourselves, what job will I get? Where will I live? What will my life look like? Those are important questions as we enter this next chapter, and I don't mean to dismiss them, but I want to suggest that they are not the only ones we should be asking. Because the decisions ahead of us, they're not just about outcomes or opportunities, they're also about the type of people who we choose to be. So, I think each of us here today, graduates and not, need to ask ourselves 2 additional questions. First, what are my core values? And second, how will I embody them? A core value is a fundamental and deeply ingrained principle that guides you regardless of circumstance. It's something that you return to in moments of uncertainty, things like family, integrity, authenticity, or service. Our core values are what make each of us uniquely ourselves, and they're the lens through which we see the world and our place in it. For me, two values I hold closest are community and mindfulness. When I find myself at a crossroads, I return to those two words and how they connect to the choice in front of me. But there's a third value, and it is one that I hope everyone in this room will share with me, and that is action. This brings me to the second question, which I believe matters even more than the first. How will you embody your values? The answer looks different for everyone. One of my core values is community, and I try to live it by giving back to the people and places I'm a part of in whatever ways I can. Sometimes that looks big, like the Maine Day meal pack-out a few weeks ago, where dozens of us graduating today packed just over 80,000 meals. But sometimes this value looks small, like helping out a stranger on campus when they need it. Because here, it's not the scale that matters the most, it's the consistency and the choice to act on what you believe again and again. So this weekend, amid all of our celebrations, I encourage you all to find a quiet moment and think deeply about what you truly care about. Sit with it, maybe even write it down. Because once you know what you value, everything else will become a little bit clearer. And then, act on it. Every day that you can, in big ways and in small. Because I truly believe that if we lead with our values, rather than just our ambitions, we'll find ourselves happier, our pictures of success will shift, and I know the world will be a little bit better for it. Class of 2026, I cannot wait to see what you build, who you become, and how you show up for the world. Congratulations on walking across the stage today.
Thank you so much, Ruth. Please congratulate Ruth, who will receive the first diploma in the College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences. We will now recognize our Honors College students. So to do that, please welcome Dr. Ellen Weinauer, Dean of the Honors College.
Would all students graduating from the Honors College please stand and remain standing? President Farini Mundy and guests, I am pleased to recognize these students as Honors College graduates. As members of the Honors College, they've completed a rigorous program of study that culminates in an original work of research, scholarship, or creative activity, an honors thesis. We are so deeply proud of our graduates who contribute in so many ways to our campus, our communities, and the work of knowledge creation that is central to the University of Maine mission. Please join me in congratulating them for their achievements. Graduates, you may be seated.
And next, I call on University of Maine's Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Gabriel Paquette, for recognition of our ROTC cadre and student athletes.
Good morning. Thank you, President Farini Mundy. Military training has been a part of the University of Maine for more than 140 years. Each spring, the commissioning of officers into the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps is a valued experience. The ROTC programs on campus help students develop discipline, physical stamina, skills and leadership, teamwork and management, and other qualities essential to success. The ROTC staff and instructors draw from decades of valuable experience to teach these cadets and midshipmen what it means to be a leader in today's modern military. I invite the ROTC graduates, along with the dedicated officers and staff who guide them, to please stand as you are able. You may be seated. As the state's only Division I program, the University of Maine takes pride in the excellence, opportunity, and inclusiveness we offer through our athletics department. Thanks to our outstanding leadership, coaching staff, loyal fans, and the generous support of the Harold Alfond Foundation and many other donors, we are able to enhance the student experience and continue strengthening the future of Black Bear Nation. I would now like to invite all student-athlete graduates to stand or wave and be recognized for not only the hard work they have displayed in their respective sports, but also for their dedication to academic excellence. You may be seated. And now, for the very reason we are here today, graduates, family members, friends, and distinguished guests, this is the moment our students have worked so diligently to reach. The conferral of degrees represents not only the completion of academic study, but also the beginning of a new chapter filled with opportunity, responsibility, and purpose. We will now begin with the presentation of candidates for degrees. I invite Associate Dean Susan Sullivan of the College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences to present the candidates for degrees.
Thank you, Provost Paquette. On behalf of the faculty in the College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences, I am honored to present the candidates who have completed all the requirements for their degrees. Will the candidates from the College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences please rise? These students have demonstrated remarkable commitment and achievement throughout their time with us. I proudly recommend that they be awarded their respective degrees with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Please be seated.
Thank you, Associate Dean Sullivan. I now invite Deputy Provost and Dean Hannah Carter of the Division of Lifelong Learning to present the next group of candidates.
Thank you, Provost Paquette. On behalf of the faculty of the Division of Lifelong Learning, I am honored to present the candidates who have completed the requirements for their degrees. Will the candidates for the Division of Lifelong Learning please rise? These students have demonstrated remarkable commitment and achievement throughout their time with us. I proudly recommend they be awarded their respective degrees with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Please be seated.
Thank you, Deputy Provost Carter. I now invite Executive Dean Jason Harkins of the Maine Business School to present the next group of candidates.
Thank you, Provost Paquette. On behalf of the faculty of the Maine Business School, I am honored to present the candidates who have completed all of the requirements for their degrees. Will the candidates from the Maine Business School please rise? These students have demonstrated remarkable commitment and achievement throughout their time with us. I proudly recommend that they be awarded their respective degrees with all rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Please be seated.
Thank you, Deans. Upon receiving the recommendation from each of our deans, I now ask all candidates for degrees to please rise once more. President Farini-Mundy, as Provost and on behalf of the faculty and academic leadership of the University of Maine, I confirm that these candidates have met all the requirements for their degrees. I have the distinct honor of presenting them to you so that they may have their respective degrees conferred upon them.
Thank you, Provost Paquette. Upon your recommendation, and on behalf of the trustees at the University of Maine system, I hereby confer upon each of these candidates the degree for which they have been recommended, with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. Graduates, as a symbolic gesture of your transition from student to degree holder, I now invite you to move your tassel from the right to the left. On behalf of the entire University of Maine community, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2026. We are proud of you, and we look forward to the future you will shape. In testimony of this act, I invite you to please come forward, that'll be one row at a time, upon signal from the university marshals. All others should please be seated. Please return to your seat after receiving your diploma and remain seated for the entire ceremony out of respect for your fellow graduates. Okay? We're ready to begin.
All right. You ready to graduate? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Executive Dean of the Maine Business School, Jason Harkins. Jacob Hirsch. Grayson Arnott. Hira Avjua. Emma Beauregard. Dakota Brown. James Bonacia. Joseph Banks. Benjamin Anderson. Philip Aliohin.
Moses Allen. Tyran Avestis. Anna Christina Alves. Brooklyn Alexander. Nicholas Babonis. Gideon Ciani. Andre Lozano. Miles Collier. Ken Bomir. Hunter Burkhart. Cameron Cormier. Dylan Cross. Jackson Baresi. Leah Cavill. Sophia Braunscheidel. Danielle Brunette. Owen Bolster. Allison Burgoyne. Alana Barabee. Samuel Conlon. Julie Collier. Arthur Marciano. Drew Sullivan. Amy Burkus. Josh Connors. Thomas Dean. Harley Henderson. Corey Herbert. Thomas Salonen. Sergio Thermidor. William Haley. Spencer Dominy. Adam Conrad. Joseph Bryson. Matthew Dorata. Emma Damboyce. Margaret Collins. Nicholas Clifford. Oscar Chapman. Shona Craven. Quincy Clifford. Gracie Kucher. Alexa Coughlin. Calvin Como. Brandon Chabrier. Charlotte Carter. Riley Bird. Roseanne Nicole Canoni. Lori Carter. Ross Harris. Cameron Hale. Jared Friedman. Joshua Gite. Ethan Drillin. Colibriana Drake. Alfea Estabillo. Jack Gibson. Sheridan Finley. Chloe Estes. Lena Dobbins. Shimel Davis. Sadie Davis. Jillian Dugas. Keegan Andrews. Taylor Sanford. Max Greger. Megan Friel. Simon Fox. Owen Flannery. Aiden Donovan. Catherine Gilred. Zachary Grand. Griffin Donnelly. Emma Firmo. William Eaton, Ryan Flaherty, Colin Delanzo, Sean Dearborn Jr., Liam Gardner, Bao Yuang, Mia Gracie, Trevor Gilson, Benji Gilman, Turner Gamache, Alexis Hernandez, Patience Hanley, Olivia O'Mara, Gianni Gambradella, Pierce Friedman, Blake Coburn, Jordan Pinette, Amelia Ames, Luke Greenlaw, Cole Hersey, Alex Hardy, Donald Mulligan Jr., Alicia Littler, Scott Klein Jr., Miranda Herman, Chase Campbell, Isabel Hahn, Megan Haller, Marshall Griggs, Gabriel Griffith, Serena Green, Jake Hall, Trafton Gray, Aiden Hartwell, Ellie Kane, Taylor Katsubi, Thomas O'Leary, Ryan Cunningham, Henry James Legeron, Jack Brownstein, Brandon Holt, Sarah Johnson, Matthew Johnson, Jared Johnson, Katahdin Javner, Alexia Knowlton, Emily Holmes, Bryson Kowalski, James King, Jack Mayu, Dylan Paul, Hunter McDonald, Michaela Landry, Free Martin, Bryant Kiley, Cameron Littlefield, Ian Luciano, Brooke Kirker, Piper Coleman Veet, Laura Koblenzer, Olivia Ogier, Elizabeth Jones, Connor Levesque, Ty Kane, Charles Noring, Gianna Kopp, Brady LaPlante, Luke Pfeiffer, Andrew Pico, Rocco Tata, Taylor Mann, Elia Morgan, Madeline McCauley, Kaylee Meehan, Ryan Mabry, Finnegan Lynch, Robert Landry, Elena Miriam, Sean O'Brien, Kylie Moody, Catherine Moyes, Brian Notestein, Joseph Osana, Tobias Moore, Claire Nason, Landon Newlands, Zachary Morrill, Anthony Nixon, Dylan Morgenstern, Jameson O'Leary, Russell McGrath, Cameron Murray, Brett Murphy, Nathan Richardson, Brianna Proctor, Carter Page, Thomas Pittman, Brant Phelan, Anthony Prescott, Ian Lillis, Luke McCoy, Benjamin Rapone, Cameron Roberge, Michael Palmer, Bailey Philbrick, Kennedy Peterson, Julia Perot Ridley, Claire Willett, Owen Searle, Samuel Seekins, Conrad Rogers, Roman Ragusa, William Robbins, Rudy Quinones, Jenna Puskas, Connor Peden, River Kendall, Jacob Ryan, Cole Peterson, Ethan Pierce, William Patton, Cooper Pickett, McKenna Page, Eli Sherstead, Liam Spalding, Kaylee Saucier, Corey Smith, Elliot Sissimi, Michaela Sheehan, Michael Seeley, Luke Rothbacker, Jenna Seeley, Kathleen Scroggins, Lily Scomrow, Sophia Rolfe, Madeline Rupert, Sivan Ronan, Robert Russell, Sophia Toscano, Ryan Thompson, Gavin Terrio, John Shea, Eamon Sweeney, Jagger Thayer, Morgan Tash, Samuel Tremblay, Benjamin Sullivan, Tyler Sukeforth, Mira Stockford, Caroline Deborah Spencer, Richard Sorensen, Keelan Steele, Evan Kilfoyle, Dylan Wilkinson, Ethan Boyle, Doug Wheelock, Austin Verge, James Hanley Jr., Marissa Waldron, Alec Velo, Brandon Verrill, Jason Sieber, John Sutton IV, Liam Sullivan. Zachary Christopher Zelog. Brinley Seward. Gamoy Turner. James Warden. Colby Winship. Denage Williams. Christopher Williams. Jesse Wang. Lucia Vigo Pigueras. Gage Weitzman. Abigail Weineck. Sean Upton. Daniel Coops. Nicholas Morrow. Daniel Mascalo. Brees Cody. Kiana Wright. Catherine Works. Sadie Works. Zachary Zoglio. Just a second. You ready? The Dean of UMaine Cooperative Extension, Hannah Carter, Deputy Provost and Dean. Clayton Wilson. Brandon Tebow. Cecilia Marquis. Charles Hartley Mattison. Minwin Fitzgerald. Colby Chadwick. Elizabeth Texera. Connor Belanger. The College of Earth, Life, and Health Sciences, Susan Sullivan, Associate Dean. Jasper Makowski. Madeline Stockman. Noah Adelman. Oliver Akers. Joseph Agostino. Amanda Allen. Chloe Alley. Ava Anderson. Alyssa Arscott. Leo Anderson. Melissa Matonsi. Ava Aprea. Emma Archambault. Harry Averill. Cameron Baines. Nicole Baker. Christy Lynn Bodwin. Catherine Beasley. Lindsay Beckley. Kathleen Benderatus. Grady Atkinson. Mason Battle. Haley Bernier. Elizabeth Bradish. Anna Buckley. Haley Calver. Chloe Blackstock. McKenna Chappell. Lena Bijou. Esther Biro. Jacob Boynton. Haley Blanchette. Olivia Bleff. Joshua Bohm, Taylor Broussard, Carly Cambino, Jonathan Binna, Philip Brown, Catherine Bartlett, Amy Bouchard, Cassandra Bruscotter, Thomas Bubniak, Cynthia Bukaka, Elijah Burns, Madison Butler, Victoria Cohen, Catherine Conklin, Paige Doucette, Corey Baker, Sophie Charles, Vanessa Karen, Grace Copeland, Madeline DeBest, Noah Coyle, Casey Jane, Caitlin Chapman, Madison Clausen, Katrina Cote, Ethan Charles, Andrew Clifford, Caleb Canders, Zachary Ribeiro, Luke Gordon, Nicholas Corsione, Jack Camo, Tess Conway, Heather Cormier, Sophia Jean Gardner, Addison Shute, Maeve Clark, Chloe Crocet, Brendan Dahl, Casey Daly, Eben Daniels, Noah Colby, Quinn D'Alessio, Isaac Dosty, Mason Davenport, Jasmine Carver, Lauren Crowley, Laura Dubé, Sydney Denish, Alyssa DeCrane, Kaidar Donanbayev, Isaac Cushman, Abigail Oberman, Anna Perkins, Riley Fitzpatrick, Sophie Dumas, Emily Champney Brown, Jillian Morrill, Trinity Jones, Courtney O'Rourke, Lauren DeLuca, Elise DeRoseby, Cece Desatel, Zoe Ferber, Simone Philippe Sathler, Manuel Driscoll, Veronica Doyle, Bryce Dosher, Emily Dunsmore, Dustin Ferguson, Corinne Chu, Alexis Doughton, Ethan Evers, Jocelyn Henry, Claire Mulligan, Gretchen Graffam, Summer Goodwin, Callum Hamilton, Jawan Natalie Falsey. Shandor Dosi Bordi. Takashi Fasulo. Samantha Foley. Evan Fitzmeyer. Grady Gobiel. Jamie Fogg. Bianca Seolin. Madeline Gavin. Benjamin Flannery. Sierra Gallipo. Caitlin Lord. Henry Hill. Frederick Hubbard. Finn Gagan Chavez. Kendra Fournier. Juliet Gomez Lawson. Pippin Frieden. Portia Gagne. Addison Gamble. Gabrielle Giftos. Morgan Gilbert. Clara Giuliani. Ivy Glidden. Aiden Fogg. Isabel Geary. Isabel Gilly. Samantha Graves. Felicity Gregoire. Andrew Gregory. Jake Goodwin. Grace Gump. Benjamin Hallett. Madison Gordon. Madison Goss. Patience Goulette. Aiden Gray. Alyssa Groneman. Matthew Hahn. Jesselyn Hygas. Eula Haller. Samantha Hendricks. Samantha Heavisides. Emma Herrero. Quinn Henderson. Corvidae Hathaway. Abigail Hall. Cameron Harris. Drew Hall. Courtney Hellender. Dasha Harrington. Grace Hodgkin. Jade Kim. Jensen Kroll Jr. Matthew Henriques. Nathan Jalbert. Benjamin Humphrey. Jacob Yastremski. Joseph Jensen. Maisie Caruzas. Robert Ash. Owen Axelson. Samantha Johnson. Victor Costilla. Ian Thompson. Hannah Johnson. Hannah Jordan. Eric Gestel. Lee Jones. Miles Jones. Corbin Kissinger. Tucker Jones. William Kolbenson. Cami Juskowitz. Karina Kiersted. Molly Keller. Nicholas Kepford. Rebecca Krieger. Aurora Dunifer, Jillian Kirisi, Hannah Maker, Atima Kunajutikul, Strix Kugler, Peyton Kozak, Owen Kosaba, Emily Legue, Jack LaJoy, Alyssa Kuskowski, Garrett Laffler, Eric LaPlante, Kylie Michelle LaPlante, Catherine Lasley, Sarah Ellen Larrabee, Danielle Larson, Abigail Lavoy, Ashley LeClaire, Paying Lee, Ella Lawson, Alexia Lopes, Ann Leahy, Grace Leshy, Franklin Libby, Megan Libby, Sky Lundberg, Avery Leibovich, Sabrina Lopez, Riley Lord, Sage Gallant, Liliana Mandress, Maureen Gorman, Claire McDonald, Samantha Malley, Olivia Marsanskis, Brandon Madden, Zara Faramad, Maya Sereno, Brady Marchesalt, Merrick Weimer, Patrick Collette, Riley McAllister, Sarah McCullough, Alexander McGee, Lauren McGovern, Nicholas Lassard, Estrella Pacanza Rogers, Abigail McNally, Alyssa McNeil, Ashley Dansker, Abigail Sanders, Walker Lavoy, Barrett Tibitot, Summer Deans, Bryn Weatherby, Molly Jennings, Jasmine Bagwell Taves, Alexis Colfer, Lillian Christensen, Michaela Learned, Andrew Weeks, Aaron Grabe, Gabrielle Wiley Hicks, Riley Elizabeth Sylvain, Shannon Phyllis Makowski, Abigail Collins, Elizabeth Hargis, Sonara Robinson, Liliana Jimenez, Brendan Stone, Sam A. Slaven Hall, Zachary LaFontaine, India Moon, Lior Nachtigall, Andrew Mellinson, Edward Ezekiel Nakami, Vienna Melzel, Aaron Loud, Amelia Mooney, Sky Morrison, Sasha Missouro, Simon Murillo, Joshua Mullins, Madison Vayu, Tara Monroe, Anita Goulet, Lindsay Palmer, Eloise Plant, Madison Michaud, Emma West, Alexandra Light, Alexandra Miles, Kiara Mendoza, Ellie Mitchell, Peter Herrick, Mason Moore, Gunnar Nui, Owen Nault, Camden Morrison, Sydney O'Brien, Isabella Morrill, Abigail Pennington, Emma McBriarty, Sophia Milo, Camden Jones, Katarina Neri, Eric Okendo de Jesus, Celia Noel Brown, Lena O'Connell, Ella Offerdahl, Elizabeth Oldfield, Katie Parent, Seth Patno, Adam Pease, Kyla Perkins, Mia Poirier, Danielle Poitras, Amelia Potvin, Liam Quinlan, Ashley Regan, Cameron Provo, Lillian Robbins, Cassander Robin, Logan Quinn, Ronald Roberge, Mia Henderson, Julianne Preble, Rhiannon Pete, Elizabeth Dyer, Sarah Reynolds, Claire Palmer, Hannah Robinson, Noelle Languette, Charlena Lavalle, Caitlin Powers, Sydney Lord, Grace Radell, Lillian Ropes, Margaret Richmond, Madison Ringett, Anna Rothbacker, Sophia De Silva, Julia Rourke, Adam Reichert, Ella Raymond, Evelyn Runstrom, Marcus Rusano, Callie Russell, Emily Rutherford, Alexa Bradley, Catherine Roy, Nicole Walker. Megan Sauberlich. Bridget Sawitsky. Victoria Shane. Hayden Schall. Evelyn Schlett. Jameson Snape. Madeline Snow. Bonnie Spink O'Brien. Katie Armstrong. Hannah Sherwood. Katerina Schiavo. Juliana Dyer. Emma Sokobi. Sienna Soktoma Holmes. Zoe Stankovitz. Samantha Sebasto. Dalton Sorrell. Andrew Soroy. Harrison Seitz. Natalie Seitz. Justin Solomon. William St. John. Lauren Starks. Luca Stevens Rosa. Emily Strickland. Alexa Stromsky. Cameron Sudimic. Jacqueline Sullivan. Nevada Schwartzbaugh. Miriam Talele. Megan Taylor. Nathaniel Tierlink. Amelia Thielman. Ava Stevenson. Guinevere Tome. Olivia Stowell. Molly Sweeney. Emily Tucker. Sydney Euland. Mackenzie Turner Hanson. Neil Underwood. Madison Valente. Emma Van Amber. Christopher Vogelman. Mark Waite. Jordan Steck. Keely Wilson. Luke Valelli. Ash Van Norwick. Richard Viveros. Sky Van Beek. Angelina White. Jason Wickett. Aaron Williams. Sarah Townsend. Mary Wheeler. Emma Wolverton. Elizabeth Withers. Apple Webster. Isabella Wygand. Benjamin Wentworth. Georgia Urso. Virginia Ward. Grace Wallinga. Virginia Weiss. Hannah White. Morgan White. Catherine Whitney. Michael Weidman Jr. Juliet Williams. Thomas Wilson. Ann Wolfenden. Jack Yanko. And Ava Zettelmoyer.
At this point in the program, the president gives a charge to the graduates. I simply implore you to take the risks and seize the opportunities that are already coming your way to help others and to create positive change in the world. You can be confident in what you have experienced here at UMaine. It will be a foundation for you. You have the tools, the knowledge, and the networks to choose what you would like to try next. Stay open to the possibilities. Know that you will continue to seek your tomorrows over a lifetime. Thank you for helping UMaine discover our tomorrow as you embark on yours. Congratulations. This concludes the University of Maine's 224th commencement ceremony. I want to thank Professor and Conductor Dr. Philip Edelman and the ceremonial brass, Music Director and Name Reader Danny Williams, Accompanist Sky Kust, and the members of the Black Bear Men's Chorus, Timothy Simons, Trustee Roger Cates, the UMaine ROTC Color Guard, and everyone who was involved in making today's event so special and so wonderful. Will the audience please rise and remain standing as the stage party, faculty, and graduates leave the arena. And please join the Black Bear Men's Chorus in singing the Maine Stein song. Thank you.
Fire!